everybody? This is David. Welcome back to the channel, Stock Talk David. As always, as you enter, remember to like, share, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Always, it helps the channel grow. And as always, remember, I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. But hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. 2025. Market's off to, shaky start, but it's all good. But the purpose of this video today is to touch in on our 2025 SCHD challenge. 2025 SCHD challenge. As most people know, SCHD is one of the most talked about dividend ETFs out there. Very popular. A lot of people are investing in it. And we are as well. We do have our investing challenge, and we wanted to give you an update on what we've been doing since the split. So we'll touch on that. But first, let's jump into our Yahoo Finance and just take a little look, a high level look at SCHD for may have some first time visitors here or people that's not investing in SCHD, maybe thinking about adding it to their portfolio. So let's just take a look and see what the hype about SCHD is all about, and should you be adding this ETF to your portfolio. So let's take a look. Bear with me 1 second. And here we are, the almighty SCHD. As you see, the last price was the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, SCHD, and last traded at $27.01 is what it closed out on Friday, down 1% on the day. And overall, the market has gotten off to a shaky start, but let's just look overall with SCHD, just a little history over the last 5 days. Down almost 1% over the last month, down 6% over the last 6 months, actually up 5%. Year to date, the year's just started, down 0.81% over the last year, up 6% over the last 5 years, up 39%, and overall time up 224%. So honestly, nothing about that just kind of knocked my socks off, right? 5-year growth, 39%. I don't think that's great, but it is what it is as far as the growth of the actual price. Let's take a look at, and we looked at perform. Well, let's look down here. As you see, year to date, down 1%. According to right here, expense ratio pretty low, 0.06. Yield percentage 3.64%. And like I say, man, it's SCHD is pretty popular. Do you think, based on what you've seen so far, that you would consider it one of the top ETFs? But I know that people like the dividend growth, so I'm just talking, but. Let's take a look at some of the top 10 holdings of SCHD. We start with Pfizer, AbbVie, the Coca-Cola Company, Cisco, BlackRock, Bristol Myers, Texas Instruments, Pepsi, Lockheed Martin, and that I may be pronouncing it wrong. Is it Amgen or Amgen? I may be pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, a lot of familiar companies that make up the top 10 holdings, which is 41% of the total assets. You see, you have the breakdown by sector weightings here. So pretty solid for SCHD as far as the breakdown and the top 10 holdings. Let's take a look at the performance. And, it might kind of shock you a little bit, right? So let's take a look at 2024. Annual total return history, kind of below the sector here. 14% compared to 11%. SCHD 2023 was up 4% compared to the industry was 11%. So I don't know. It's kind of kind of hit or miss. You see back in 2021, up 29% compared, to 26%. Um, so yeah, man, it's SCHD is, like I say, it's to me as far as the ETF, as far as the growth rate, it's kind of in the middle of the pack, to be honest with you, with in my opinion. But let's look at the historical data, and I think what most people like is the dividend growth, and we'll go straight to the dividend growth of SCHD. So we're gonna look at dividends only. Let's take a look at. Let's max it out. Let's look at it on a. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Going all the way back to 2011, and you see how small the dividend payout was at the time, and it's continued to increase over time, for sure. In the 0.20, 0.23, 0.23, 0.22, 0.20 to in June 2024, we got the 0.27, and the last payout December 0.27. So it's definitely been increasing and showing a healthy increase of dividend payout. And I think that's why most people, including myself, um, are invested in SCHD, and I will be continuing to invest in SCHD. You see the dividend grow, the dividend payout is continuing to grow, and that's the whole purpose. One of the main reasons that people invest. So SCHD is really doing what it's supposed to do as far as the dividend payout, and we look for that to continue to grow over time. So that's what you want to see. It does hold its value as far as the price, and it's continuing to grow as far as the dividend. So that is what you will want to see in a position, an ETF like SCHD. So I'm very pleased about the performance. So now let's take a look at the SCHD challenge that we've been doing. And we started this challenge once the ETF split, once SCHD split a couple of months ago. And I think it did a 3-to-1 split. And we wanted to get to 100 shares. And that's what we did. So I'm going to give you an update to show you where we at. We have a new goal right now that we're doing with SCHD. And we may even expand that goal even more based off what we've been doing. So let's check in on it and see how we are looking in our SCHD challenge. And here we are. So like I said, we started this challenge post the 3-to-1 split where we had 92.002 shares. We are currently sitting at 104.968 shares. I had increased the goal from 100 shares to 105 shares. So we were right under our goal of 105 shares. So we'll increase that out during this video, actually. But let's just see how we've been doing, right? So when the split happened, and you see SCHD as well, because I am investing in SCHD and SCHG simultaneously to grow both positions. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on the SCHD mainly. And as you see here, when we started this challenge post split, we were doing a share each week. As you see right here, the weekly SCHD that we purchased, one share, 1.17, 1.021. So, and we just looked at the price. So we was purchasing one share a week. Once we got to that 100 shares, I did mention that we were going to decrease that a little bit and start doing $15, $10, in that range. So mostly it's been doing about $15 a week into SCHD. Like I said, we've also been doing the SCHG challenge. So you see our weekly total, which combines the two. And so far, since we started this challenge, we've invested a total of $518.76. So, and this just shows you like anybody can do this, right? Anybody can be an investor. You just have to be consistent on what you're doing. This is $15, $26. This is actually a dividend reinvestment that we got in December, which was $26.68. So that was reinvested. That allowed us to purchase 0.95 shares at the time. So that also went into help growing the account. You receive a dividend quarterly, you reinvest that dividend back into the position, and that helps grow the account. So hopefully, that payout that we looked at, that dividend payout, continues to increase, and we should see our dividend payout be even higher once the next quarterly dividend hits. So this past week we did $15.60 into SCHD. We did $20 into SCHG for a total of $35.60. And as far as the SCHD, that bought us 0.58 shares. So you see, we started this after the split, we had 92.002 shares. We've purchased 12.97 shares in just over 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 months. And now we're at 104.968 shares, almost 105 shares. So we're going to keep growing this out, setting short-term goals for ourselves. And, this next week, we're going to hit the 105 shares. So now let's just increase this to 110 shares. That's going to be our next goal, is to get 110 shares of SCHD. And let's change this formula here, which means we are 5.032 shares away from 110 shares of SCHD. We are currently at 104.968. And that's going to be our next goal, is 110 shares. And we're just going to keep increasing that goal. And we're going to keep up with our weekly challenge here into SCHD and SCHG. And we're going to continue to grow both positions. I don't have that much SCHG right now. I probably have about 16 shares, which I've, with this weekly challenge, I've been able to add more shares. So it's helping grow this position as well. And we're going to keep growing the SCHG because I do like how, the growth aspect of SCHG in the price. So I'm a big fan of SCHG. But like I said, SCHD, we have increased our shares from 92.002 to the 104.968. The next stop is 110 shares. We are 5.032 shares away from reaching that goal. And we're just going to keep our head down. We're going to be consistent. And this, for a new investor, this is how you can grow your portfolio without thinking that you need a whole bunch of money to invest. It's not the case. You probably have an extra $15, $20 sitting around that you can invest in a position every week. And, a lot of platforms will let you just automatically invest those funds into a position. So this is the importance of, putting your money to work. And that's what we're going to do. We're up on our SCHD position overall, and we are receiving the dividend every quarter. So that's passive income. We're investing in assets, and, we're going to keep doing that. So next stop is 110 shares, which we plan to hit pretty soon, and I'll keep you guys updated. And but yeah, that's the update, man. The SCHD Challenge 2025 going on, and we're gonna keep rocking, man. We're gonna keep this thing flowing. Keep building, growing our portfolios, keep this dividend income going, this passive income, and it's all going to pay off. It's all going to pay off. You got to put in the road work, the groundwork, from the ground level, but it's going to pay off. So let me know what you guys think. Are you a SCHD investor right now? How often do you invest in SCHD? Are you satisfied with the performance? Are you satisfied with the dividend payment? Let me know in the chat. I appreciate your feedback. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys later.